Welcome back, folks. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Jim Prince, as we do each and every Wednesday at 20 past the hour. Don't forget, folks, you can follow Jim at his website, Greatest Business on Earth, gbemembers.com. So check it out right on the website. Jim Prince.
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Doing really well. We got some good weather out this way now. Finally got rid of that smoke from those forest fires.
Oh, thank God. That's awesome, man. Well, you know, the smoke today was in the market, Jim, as the marijuana stocks were basically burning it up.
Oh, that's a good one. I saw that here just before we came to this segment here. Boy, that good one-liners. Always appreciate a good one-liner.
I'm telling you, man, it's hard to comprehend, folks, what these equities actually did. Just like over the top in a huge way. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so let's take a look at some of your charts here. Where would you like to start, Jim?
Yeah, let's take a look at the cocoa adjusted 10-year.
Okay, cool. Let's take a look at this baby. Okay, so talk to me. What do we have here?
Yeah, so this is a little bit different than what I've shared with you before. This is an adjusted futures contract, but it's the seasonal tendency for the last 10 years. And that blue line is the blue line is the one we want to focus on. And for cocoa, you can see it really peaked in July, and as far as the seasonal tendency goes, and then straight down into the end of the year. So with that in mind, if we take a look at the December cocoa daily chart.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry about this. Let's see. I'll get this thing up. Shame on me. December daily cocoa chart. Shame on me. Adjusted 10-year? No, I got it. Okay, cool. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so here you can see how the market had actually put in a low back in August and then a bounce, and I have some support levels marked off there.
Yes.
A angled trend line, a horizontal trend line, as well as a zone there that's I have in green. Well, the market bounced out of that region, went up, consolidated again, and has since moved back down. And we had a big day down today. I think it was down over 2%, now approaching that zone, but right in step with the seasonal. And I think we still have some lower price activity here down to retest the support levels that I have marked on the chart.
So when we look at these seasonal, Jim, and the cocoa, is this like, I mean, is it as cut and dried that at holidays that we like a lot of chocolate? Or how does this work? Or it just happens to be that they do have different cycles, and it not has to do with the retail eater?
Well, you know, I suppose some of it does, but I know overall it's the cycles of the market for production and crops and that sort of thing. And I'm not much of a fundamental guy. I'm just a guy off of numbers and charts myself. But I'm sure that has something to do with it. You know, much like we've looked at coffee over here over the last couple of weeks when we've been on. So I don't think this is a whole lot different in this regard. I think we could easily come down and test those August lows, and we're not that far from it. And that's a big day down here today in this market. Yeah,
and when you look at this, folks, so the August lows that he's talking about is 2,100 a ton versus 2,195 right now, and the highs that he was talking about is 2,911, a ton. Pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
very
next,
Yeah, so I sent over that, and I sent over another commodity. How about December cotton?
Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, man. I got this. Where am I? I got it. Yeah. Okay, I'll find it. Go ahead. Start talking. Sorry, man.
So we've had this on a couple of different times, and I showed some projections that I had made with these blue boxes, blue rectangles, just using some market geometry.
Yep.
And yesterday was a massive day to the downside and took up a good 50% of that projected range. And today, pretty quiet after the big day yesterday, but we're still looking for a continuation move to the downside here. As we're sitting on support right now, a horizontal support line, I'm looking for a further move down to those next levels of support, and basically to fill in that projected range, because momentum, the energies that I look at based on those two indicators that I have, the middle pane and the bottom pane, clearly project price to continue to move lower.
Nice. And then the next one, I have, New Zealand dollar?
Yes. So I sent over that Forex pair.
Okay.
one of the things with this pair here, let me grab it here, is that it is on the verge here, I think, of continuing to move higher. It's recently put in an inverted, or it's working on, I should say, putting in an inverted head and shoulder pattern. I have the left shoulder and the head mark there in the darker blue.
Yes.
And that lighter colored ellipse, that's the area I expect the market to go up and fill that in and test that 50 period moving average, which is the blue moving average line on my chart. And then after that happens, I'm anticipating that we will possibly see a right shoulder take place, and then maybe just a continuation move here to a little bit higher, retesting that red zone that I have marked on the chart, the lower zone there.
Nice. And then the next one would be, let's see, the euro, right?
Yes, the December euro. This is the futures contract here. And what I like about this chart is we have a kind of a large inverted head and shoulder pattern that's formed, and then the triangle pattern. But within that triangle pattern, we have price that's currently locked in, I think, the last 5 sessions between my 89 SMA and that 50 SMA.
Okay.
So it's really being kind of compressed, much like if you were to compress a coil. I anticipate some sort of pretty volatile move out of this range here.
Yeah. So what gets so interesting, you know, about these angles too, is like the closer. What happens, folks, is that the closer you get to the end of the angle, many times this coiling just keeps coiling, and that's when you really get some action. And you know what I've seen many times, Jim, is that the first move doesn't seem to be the move that happens. Like if it goes down out of it, then all of a sudden you're going to pop up. You pop up, it's all going to go down. It's kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
How these babies work, but there's no doubt it's coiling up in a big way, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is.
Yeah. So, and there's definitely enough news over in Euroland, basically to get that baby moving, because you know when we actually do take a look at the dollar, the euro, or the pound, they're all basically fighting it out right at. In a couple cases, it's the support, meaning the dollar, and the other ones, in those cases, it's the resistance at the highs.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely correct. Yep.
Yeah. Gotta love it. Well, listen, man, I'm glad that smoke has gone out of there. Now you get. Now, what is your weather in the winter? What kind of weather do you guys get in the winter?
Yeah, so we're in the southern portion of Oregon, so we'll get snow and ice. We get down in the 20s. Then in the summer, the peaks are up in the 110, 112 range during August typically. So we get a wide range of weather here. We'll have the rains coming up here though.
Pretty cool. Now listen, folks, you can find Jim every trading day right over his website, gbemembers.com. Check it out. He's got a lot of great learning over there. Get to understand how these futures move around. Now, in the background, is that your son?
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Over my shoulder here? That is actually me and my wife.
Okay, no. When I always say Prince Spaghetti, then I hear someone in the background. Is that my producers?
I think that's your guys.
Oh, my God. That's so funny. Just when I'm saying that, I'm saying to myself, you know what? That's probably my producers saying Anthony. I love it.
Okay.
I love you, Al. Hey, Jim, thanks so much, man. You have a great one, a safe one.
Thanks, Tom. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay right there, folks. Come right back.